So, yeah, that happened. And then I had another relationship, and that one fizzled out pretty quickly, actually. It was one of those relationships where it was, and then it was, where'd he go? Yeah. It was one of those where they just, he just completely did not even contact me anymore. So I have no clue. And this seems to be a continuing occurrence with me. Is it something about me? Is it something that I do? Is it because I talk with my hands like really exuberantly or something like that? I don't know. But any of you gay guys out there, if you see something in me that is like completely a turnoff, please let me know, because I have no clue what's driving some guys away. Guys, I don't know what it is, but my nose is like completely itchy. Is somebody thinking about me or something? I have no clue. If you're thinking about me at like freaking, it's 7:30 here in the morning, so it's like 5 in the evening, on Monday, I guess. Yeah, no, on Sunday, uh, the 7th, I think, right? Yeah, on Sunday the 7th. If you guys are thinking about me around that time, please let me know, because my nose freaking itches. I don't know. Anyway, so that pretty much closed out 2013. It was basically all job focused. Let's see. It was around that time that I also switched to an office job in the military. A guaranteed position for 2 years. So that was fun. Oh crap. And guys, I don't know how well you could have seen me, because apparently whenever I changed out the batteries, I left a big old like handprint mark right on the lens. One thing I don't like about the Flip is that I can't see what exactly I look like on the other side. It kind of sucks for that. So it's kind of sucking for vlogging. At least for me, I need to be able to see like what I'm talking to. So anyway, moving on. That basically encompasses most of 2013. Is that I got an office job around mid-time in 2013, July-ish, and yeah, I was working in an office, pretty much not setting my own schedule, but pretty much having a run of my own programs and whatnot. It was really kind of awesome. I really do miss it. It was a position only for 2 years per person, and then they send you back to your individual shops and whatnot. So it was actually really fun to do that. I really enjoyed some of the people that I met. I really disliked some of the people I met. Since I was dealing a lot with people's traveling and whatnot, it was kind of like, I called myself H&R Block, because I found some people money that they didn't even know was entitled to them. It was awesome. So yeah, it was an awesome feeling for me to have control of a job where I got to be the know-it-all, and people actually really needed me for something. They had a need for me. Rather than a job where people look down on you until they need something, and then basically you have to do it either way or planes don't fly. I mean, that kind of job really sucks, and you don't really get a lot of recognition for it. And the job that I had, you kind of really got recognition for it, because I was meeting with, at least in my squadron, I was meeting with the commander like once a week or so. I mean, I was the type of guy that I would walk into his office and, like, I'd go up, I'd ask the secretary, is he on the phone, is he busy? She'd go right on in. So I would just walk in there and I'd just, like, start shooting the shit with him and tell him exactly how it is. So, I mean, me as a staff sergeant, I mean, that's like less than middle management. That's like a peon in the military rank structure. I mean, kind of lower middle management in the enlisted structure. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, I'm next to nothing. So I'm still pretty low, but in the enlisted structure without a college degree and with no actual drive to be an officer, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay not being an officer, thank you. So yeah, that happened in 2013. I really enjoyed that job, and I kind of really miss it. So in 2014, that was, guys, I cannot tell you how terrible that was of a year. I mean, it was probably on record the absolute worst year I have ever freaking had. It is the year that, yeah, I refer to that year as the year of death. In the span of 2 weeks, I had 2 cousins, one that was a little older than I am. She died during childbirth, and another cousin that he was, I believe, 50. Both of them died. One had cancer, the other one, like I said, died during childbirth. And, I mean, both to me came as a shock. I didn't know the one cousin had cancer, so, yeah. I mean, it wasn't all plastered all over Facebook and everything, so it really kind of shocked me. And that was in February. I didn't start out the year very well for me. And then on St. Patty's Day, I took St. Patty's Day like the entire week because my mother was supposed to come out and visit. We were going to do like a pub crawl up in New York City, all that stuff. She ended up not coming out to visit me, and it ended up being a good thing at that time, because a friend of mine on St. Patty's Day morning, I was woken up, I already had the time scheduled off and all that. A friend's mother called me and told me that a friend of mine that I knew down in Kansas ended up passing away. She was in the hospital for quite a while, and it was one of those things. She was in and out of the hospital a lot, but it was always one of those things where, yeah, she's going to come back out of the hospital, she's going to be fine, and I still get emotional talking about her, but to this day, she's still the only funeral that I've performed so far. St. Patty's Day that year was on a Monday, and on a Wednesday, I had very quickly gone through the grieving process, because for me, not being down there and not seeing the family that considered me family as well, I should mention that, not seeing the family kind of distanced me from all the hurt and the anguish and dealing with the grief head on. But on that Wednesday I called and I wanted to talk to Grandma, and I wanted to talk to Mama, as we so affectionately call her. I wanted to talk to Mama and see how everybody's dealing with everything, and she put Grandma on the phone. And guys, I can't turn down a grandmother crying on the phone telling me that it was her granddaughter's last wish that I do her funeral, that I perform the funeral service, and that I send her respectfully into the afterlife. So I packed up everything that I needed. I found somebody to take care of the cats. I packed Dakota up in the car. I took him with me, and we drove straight through around 24 hours without sleep. And I know that if you are watching this and you don't know how much I've dealt with contacting spirits before, nothing could have prepared me for how clearly she came through, and just continuously I heard her talking the entire time going down there, the entire time coming back, and even after that. I couldn't even sleep. Guys, I kid you not, I called up my business partner and I said, she won't stop talking to me. And she said, figure out what she's trying to say. I said, I don't know what she's trying to say. She just won't shut up. And guys, I've never had any spirit come through that strongly. I mean, the bond that we had was so strong. I've never had somebody come through in that strong of a spirit, that I actually heard them talking. Like, I couldn't make out exactly what she was saying, but I heard her talking so clearly. I've never had anybody come through that clearly for me. Once I got down there, it kind of waned off a little bit. And we sent her off. She was a big Tinkerbell fan. She was 26. I mean, she's loved Tinkerbell all her life, so we sent her off in a pink casket with Tinkerbell on it. Her nickname was Tink, so we put Tink on the casket. A friend of her that does the witch's cackle from Wizard of Oz sent her off with the witch's cackle, and it scared the shit out of everybody. Guys, the funeral director came up to us afterwards. He said, this has to be hands down the most personalized funeral I have ever seen done. And I can't tell you how powerful of an experience that was. Somebody that not only didn't know my pagan side of my practice, of my belief system, didn't even know I was gay. I mean, I wasn't out to her, and it's something that I really regret, and I'll have to do another video on regrets and all that stuff. But the reason I got so emotional from this rosary is because while I performed the funeral, while I gave the eulogy, in the casket were a couple things from me to her. One was a little inside joke between us, and between me, her, and her brother. One was a little bag of coffee, of Starbucks coffee, because I'm a coffee nut and so was she, and that was like our thing, was sitting around drinking coffee and discussing different types of coffee and whatnot, and kind of being coffee snobs. But another was the best part of this best friend's heart. And since then, guys, you get me going again. since then, that has always had a prominent spot, not necessarily on my altar, but also in my house somewhere. I'll have to show you guys. I have a camel skull. It's freaking awesome. But I actually put that rosary on the camel skull, and it just looks, it looks kind of gothic. It kind of looks Victorian. It's just pretty badass. Sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry, but it's awesome. That's all I can say. So yeah, I'm gonna have to show you guys that whenever I get back to the States and actually get my curio cabinet set up. I really can't wait to get back home and unpack all my stuff. And hopefully you guys will want to be there for that experience. So yeah, as you can tell from that story, I still get emotional, and if you notice on my altar, I have a little fairy. That fairy is there just for her. That is her being part of the stuff that I never showed her, that I never told her about, the stuff that I wish I would have shared with her, the misconnections, and she's actually been kind of a working companion with me here and there. So yeah. Anyway, moving on from some of the sad stuff.